I want to start out this video by saying that if you watch this channel, you might be used to funny, kind of silly videos that I do. This video is going to be a little bit more of a serious, more personal video, so just keep that in mind going forward as you watch this. I've been wanting to make this video for a couple of years now, but it never felt like the right time, I guess. But now, this is probably a better time for me to do it. So I'm just finally kind of taking the plunge and going for it. Almost 2 years ago, I put out a video about Fallout 4, and I mentioned that it was my favorite game of that year. I also mentioned that I wanted to make a longer, more elaborate video about my favorite games of the year other than Fallout, but some personal stuff got in the way. And I always wanted to expand on that, but I never did. Well, in the beginning of December 2015, just a few weeks before I made that video, I found out that my brother had passed away. He had actually just turned 37 and then passed away just so unexpectedly. And so I wanted to take the time to make this video, not to be sad or anything like that, but to be happy, to have fond memories that I have of my brother, playing video games with him, and I wanted to share with you. So whether you're somebody who normally watches my channel, or you happen to just find this video, or you're a friend or family member that I invited to watch, I hope you enjoy taking this little stroll down memory lane with me. When I look back at that Fallout video, I see it. I see just kind of the weird pain in my eyes, and I hear it in my voice, the way I deliver lines in that. I can see that my heart's not in the video. I'm not all there. My brother was a big influence in my life. Between the video games and his music, he taught me some stuff about music that I kind of still use to this day when I play. And then his weirdness. For a lot of my life with him, he was weird. In a good way. And I feel like I got just a bit of that from him. And I kind of put that in my videos. Some of the weird stuff that I do in my videos kind of comes from that. Video games were introduced into my life because of my brother. When I was very little, he had an NES. And I played my very first video game, which was the Super Mario Bros. I remember sitting there watching him playing a lot of these games. He played The Legend of Zelda a lot, which, I'm a big Zelda fan today, so for all I know, it could have started because I remember watching him play on the NES. And Punch-Out! Whenever I hear the music from Punch-Out, I think immediately back to watching him play that. And then later on, he got a Sega Genesis with Altered Beast, which, as a kid, I was scared of everything, so when I watched him play Altered Beast and would transform into the Beast form, that used to scare me, I remember. I also mentioned in a recent video that he had the Michael Jackson Moonwalker game, and that used to scare me. I was a scared kid, what can you say? I was too young to really understand what was going on in some more of the complex games like Zelda and Punch-Out. But I did eventually play Mario, like I mentioned, and then I did play a lot of Genesis with him later on. I remember he had games like eSWAT, and this other game, Target Earth. I don't remember him playing Target Earth a lot, but I know he had it, and then I got it from him later on when I inherited his Genesis, and I was never very good at that game. We did kind of play it together later on, kind of going back and forth, and we could never really beat the first couple levels. I don't even know if it's that hard of a game. I haven't played it in years, but I still remember that game. And then of course, we had Sonic 2, and we would play the split screen co-op where it would kind of just stretch out, like it took one regular Sonic screen, and then it stretched it out like this, and it made two split screens like that. And it looked ugly, but it was a lot of fun, even though it was really hard, at least for me, because I always sucked at games, even now, but more so as a child. And then I remember he eventually got a 32X to go with his Genesis, and he had this Star Wars arcade game that he played, and I don't remember him playing much of it because, much like the rest of the world, he didn't really touch his 32X all that much after getting it. So he did eventually hand his Genesis down to me, and I got a couple games. I remember I had the Jungle Book, and then I had Mortal Kombat 2, which I had no business playing at that age. That was my collection for years. The Jungle Book, Mortal Kombat, and Sonic, and Target Earth. Those were my Genesis collection for years. That is until my mom and I went on some trip for the weekend or something. We went somewhere, and on the way back, we stopped at this video store where they had a clearance sale on some old video games. And I picked up 2 games. I don't remember what the other one was at all. I just know there were 2. The other one was Golden Axe. Now, the reason I bring up Golden Axe and the reason I have this cartridge, this actually isn't the copy that I had. I just bought this on eBay recently to have it as a memory and to have it in the video. Golden Axe was the last game that I really remember playing with my brother. I bought this game way later after the Genesis had been in our lives for over a decade. This was like early 2000s. But I remember him and I playing this game a lot. We never could beat it. We would just sit there having a good time. And this was just me, my mom, and my brother living together. And my brother wasn't around a lot. I found out later that it was because he was with his friends. But I never really thought to ask why when I was younger. But when he was around, we did hang out here and there. He would bug the crap out of me sometimes, but I still loved him. And we played video games. We played Genesis. I think I had my PlayStation there sometimes, and we would play that. And then we did play Golden Axe. Now, Chris was my half-brother, and he was also 9 years older than I was. So he would often go off and do his own thing. He would either go visit his dad, or he would be with his friends. But when he was home, we would occasionally play video games like Golden Axe. And I remember, there we were, this Genesis had been in our lives for over a decade now. He had long forgotten about it, kind of didn't care about it anymore, and it was mine for a while. And now here we were, just laughing, having a good time playing this. We never beat it. We got to, I think, the final level. We may have actually gotten to the final boss, but we could never beat it. And we never did. That's okay, because it didn't matter. We were having fun. We were bonding as brothers, and I'll always remember that. We lost our mom in 2010, and it's a really weird feeling knowing that the two people in that house who I share these memories with are just gone now. It's like, it used to be I could talk to Chris about, hey, do you remember this time or that time? But now, they're not around. So I wanted to share this with you guys, and with my friends and my family who I've invited to watch this, including my sister, who is still around, and I hope she's around for a long time, and she's awesome. And I love her very much, and I meant to wear a hat that she gave me for Christmas last year. There it is, R2-D2. She knows me so well. So yeah, I wanted to just share these memories with somebody, so I figure, what better outlet than YouTube? And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you knew Chris and you're watching this, I hope that you enjoyed this as well, a little bit extra, and that you think fondly back to him. It's been 2 years now since we've unfortunately lost him, but I love him very much and I miss him to this day, and I know a lot of you do too. I actually don't know if this copy of Golden Axe works, but if it doesn't, I'll find a way to maybe someday beat this game just for you, brother. Thanks, guys. Bye.